Well, friends, mark today as the day it's all over. Yes, announced by Tesla that they purchased 1.5 billion in Bitcoin. The reason being is to diversify their assets. I think that is an interesting idea. We're going to dig into that today in this video. We're going to talk about Elon Musk. We're going to talk about Tesla buying 1.5 billion with a B of Bitcoin. And we're also going to talk about this DOGECoin that he keeps tweeting about. We are going to talk about, should you invest in Bitcoin? Should you invest in DOGECoin? And I think the future of cryptocurrency, starting today, mark this as a day of history, is about to take off. Let's get right to it. Tap the like button. Here we go. So, SEC filing, that's something that every company has to do, right? In January 2021, they made a purchase of 1.5 billion of Bitcoin. And of course, there's a lot of news out there right now. This is somewhat breaking news for today, but they're mentioning the fact that they purchased that to diversify their portfolio. And in bigger news, and I think a big benefit to them owning 1.5 billion of Bitcoin, is the fact that they're moving toward the ability for people to buy Tesla products with Bitcoin. This is going to be the first time that a major company like Tesla is allowing cryptocurrency as a method of payment. I think this is going to pave the way, guys, to futures in cryptocurrency. And of course, they're going to win because they own so much now of Bitcoin that if they decide, hey, we're going to go ahead and allow you to buy, it's going to drive up the price, and boom, shakalaka for them. Now, I got to pull this up, guys, because you got to check this out. Right up here on the board, check this out. Gee, I wonder when the news broke about Tesla buying Bitcoin. Look at that surge of price. We opened today at 39,000. It shoots up now to 44,000 and counting. That's an increase of 5,562.32. Oh, it keeps going, but an increase of $5,500 in one single day, thanks to this news breaking out. Guys, I gotta say to you though, I'm kicking myself. You know why I'm kicking myself? Now I know this isn't a lot of money, but back in 2017, I decided to buy a little bit of Bitcoin and then I sold it. And I originally sold it for a total of $279. This is back when it was trading for around $14,000 for one Bitcoin. Oh yeah, don't worry, you don't need to kick me. I'm already kicking myself for the fact that I sold it then. If I would have just held on today, that small little $279 nest egg would be worth $833. It's probably a little bit more by the time I'm done with this video. Who knows, Bitcoin's gonna be worth like 50,000. But regardless of that, I think that Bitcoin has a future. Today marks a day in history because with Tesla taking this momentum, not only just to buy the 1.5 in Bitcoin, but to announce that they're going to eventually start allowing this as a purchase, as a means of purchase, I think that's something we need to keep our eyes and ears open to. I just did a video linked up above, I'll link it down below, to my 2021 investment strategy. Now you all know, my fans of the channel, that I'm trying to pay off the mortgage, but I'm taking a small bit of what I earn, $10 a week, and I'm investing it into Bitcoin. I started that back in January and I'm continuing it on. Even with this news, $10 a week into Bitcoin. And the reason behind that is because Bitcoin, I think, is the future. Don't worry, I'll get into this DOGECoin too. I'm not interested in DOGECoin. You gotta stay tuned because you gotta hear why. This is actually kind of a warning because DOGECoin is completely different than Bitcoin and there's some things that we may not be thinking about. So I think there's gonna be a couple things that happen. One, there's probably gonna be some people looking into Elon Musk and all the tweeting activity he has done. Some people are already coming out. I've already seen it where they're saying that Elon is basically, it's like the Wolf of Wall Street coming back again, where you have like another GameStop situation. He's tweeting about Bitcoin in the past. Meanwhile, in the private, he's buying 1.5 billion worth of Bitcoin, which isn't public until the SEC filing. So they're doing all this stuff, right? Making things happen, tweeting about it. Is this not a good thing because he's basically influencing people with his influence that he has on Twitter? Let's look at DOGECoin as an example. And therefore, he's really able to lift his own profits up. It's an interesting idea, but I think where things will go very sour is if he decides to then sell it, therefore being a pump and dump situation. I don't think he's going to do that, especially announcing that he wants to use this as a method of payment for Tesla products. Now, let's think about this for a second. Where they say, okay, you want to buy a Tesla Model Y? Boom, come up with your Bitcoin and you can use that as a method of payment. That's going to open the door for all of these other CEOs to start thinking about this. That could we start taking Bitcoin for your next Apple product? Could we start taking Bitcoin for a Ford vehicle, for a cruise line experience, for whatever? This is going to open the door, and I think it's going to also surge up the price and make Bitcoin a more valuable product. Now, why is Bitcoin so much more valuable than, let's say, right over here, I got right here, $100 bill? Why is Bitcoin so much more valuable than a $100 bill. Well, if you're not aware, Bitcoin is limited. It's a limited commodity. It's a lot like gold. There's only so much that exists. They engineered it that there's only 21 million total Bitcoins. They can't add Bitcoin after all 21 million are mined within the blockchain. So 21 million, that's a limited resource. Money, they can just continue to print. When they sign this into law, the Treasury just starts printing more money. Now, of course, that drives the value of the dollar down. But what about DOGECoin? Now, DOGECoin, he's been tweeting a lot about this, but I think honestly it's a big joke. It's just like GameStop, and I think Elon is just totally screwing with people. Probably not a good thing to do on this case, because while the price of this has gone from like next to nothing to about 8 cents per DOGECoin, you guys got to realize a couple things if you're not aware. And if you're getting into this, I would actually warn you and start making you think, maybe, should I take that and actually start leaning more toward Bitcoin as opposed to DOGECoin? Here's why. DOGECoin is unlimited. It's an unlimited resource. So if you're going to think, hey, I'll buy into DOGECoin, it's only 8 cents a coin, and eventually it's going to surge up to the price of Bitcoin. I don't think that's ever going to happen, just based on the fact of the limited resource. 21 million Bitcoin, unlimited amount of DOGECoin. That kind of makes it kind of pointless. And also, did you know that DOGECoin actually started as a joke? Here's a guy that decided to have some fun with a little bit of a meme, a Shiba Inu dog, and they called it DOGECoin. And it's really just basically a product of Litecoin, which is a product of Bitcoin. So at the end of the day, I don't know. I'm just not feeling it, guys. I'm just not feeling it. I would rather invest into something that just got a huge announcement, that has the ability of capturing a lot of CEOs' attention outside of Tesla to eventually start making cryptocurrency an actual form of payment. At the end of the day, though, however, DOGECoin, Bitcoin, Litecoin, or even my shoe, if something is valuable to somebody, you can sell it or give it as a form of payment if somebody thinks that whatever you have to give is worth it for whatever service or product they're giving you. So if you find that this shoe right here, by the way, this is a huge shoe, isn't it? If you find this to be valuable and you said, hey, I'll give you my entire house, my 6,000 square foot house for your shoe. Well, if this one shoe is that valuable to you, you'll accept it as a form of payment. So really, if you're worried, do you think Bitcoin's ever going to actually become a true form of payment? Well, yeah, I think so, especially with Tesla's news. So again, mentioned it in a little bit earlier about my investment strategy. I'm using Coinbase.com to purchase $10 a week into Bitcoin every single week. By the way, don't use the actual Coinbase.com. I have a link down below in the description. You can get yourself some free Bitcoin when you sign up for using Coinbase, but when you actually sign up, go to pro.coinbase.com. It doesn't cost you any more money. You get it with part of your sign up to Coinbase. But the reason I use Pro is, here's a good example. Right here, if you wanted to buy $100 worth of Bitcoin, in Coinbase.com, it would cost you $2.99 in fees. That's a lot of money. But on their Pro platform, pro.coinbase.com, the same amount, $100 of Bitcoin, would only cost you 50 cents in fees. And I think that's an important example. And remember, with Coinbase, you actually have a wallet that you can use as soon as you get verified, and you actually own the Bitcoin. This isn't like Robinhood or Webull where you're investing in the idea of the cryptocurrency. You not only invest in it, you actually own what you invest in. And I think that's an important part and why I use Coinbase for my cryptocurrency purchases. I want to hear from you guys. What do you think? Do you think that this news is going to shake it up? Do you think Bitcoin's now going to go to 50, 60, 70, 80, 90,000 by the end of next week, by the next month, by the next year? What do you think? Comment down below. Let's have a chat. And if you could guess, what is the next company that's going to get on board with this train? Is it going to be Apple? What about Amazon? This year's going to be wild. Hey, check out these other videos. Thank you for watching. Have an awesome day. We'll see you next time.